not gonna lie, I'm fangirling out a little bit here with Kira Davis, who's somebody that I have just absolutely enjoyed watching and being entertained by. She's got a new book. All right, babe, can you focus up on the book? Drawing Lines. Drawing Lines. Tell our viewers a little bit about your book. What had you write it? Why do you think it's so important right now?
Well, I wrote an article during COVID a while back, and I think I was seeing this convergence of all this insanity in our schools. I'm a mom. I have 2 students. I was seeing this convergence of the mandates, school closures, added to that critical race theory and gender theory. Well, I'm a Christian, so gender theory was really odd to me and really anti-Christ, if I can say that.
Yeah, anti-human almost.
Anti-human.
Even.
And then as a black mom raising a black family, critical race theory it went against everything I knew that was right as a Christian, as an American, as a mom.
Yeah.
I would never tell my kids some of these concepts. And so I thought, I felt helpless, and I wrote this article about how, you know what, everybody, stop complaining. You need to figure out how far you're going to be pushed, because we don't have a lot of yardage left to give.
That is so true.
And I wrote this little article, and then my good friend and colleague over at Town Hall Media, Katie Pavlich, texted me, and she was like, Kira, this is a book. You need to make a book. And so I was like, all right, I've never written a book, but I'll do it. A year later, I've got this book. It's called Drawing Lines, Why Conservatives Need to Begin to Battle Fiercely in the Arena of Ideas. And
Thank you.
It's about you decide, when are you going to decide that you've had enough? I know a lot of you are very vocal on social media, but that's just chatter. When are we going to say, you know what, I cannot afford to lose any more ground. I'm picking a fight. And so I lay out the battles, the different battle spaces we have, because they're not all the same.
Yep.
You don't have to be a podcast host. You don't have to run for office. You don't have to be on the main stage at AmFest. You could be a school librarian and just commit to putting conservative books in your library. You could be somebody who gets on the board of directors for the library. Maybe you run for your city council, or maybe all you do is go to the city council meeting with your laptop and just start
tell people about it.
Yep.
Just pay attention. And it's so interesting. People think that if to engage, it has to be super public, it has to be super big, and that's really scary for people.
Right.
Okay. And there sometimes I say, who cares? Like, you're afraid that you're going to lose your job, but they're literally trying to take your kids away from you. Mm-hmm. They're telling you that you're a racist, you're a this, you're a bigot, you're a whatever, istophobe of the day. So the option is basically laying down and taking it, or standing up and fighting.
Yeah.
And so do the small things to start with. Volunteer. You don't have to run for office. Volunteer for the campaign.
That's right.
Right? Keep it. So I like that you're kind of breaking it down.
Yeah, and
making it digestible.
I break it down for you, so I tell you where the battle spaces are. We've got transgender, we've got CRT, we've got feminism. Wherever, get in where you fit in is what I'm saying. You know what I did? I chose to run for school board. I lost. I did, but I learned a lot of valuable lessons in the process. And one thing I tell people is you don't have to be out there. You can pick something to do that's very small, but you have to pick something. Because here's the thing, conservatives, we're the type of people, we go to work, we come home, we put our heads down, right?
We take care of our kids,
take care of our families,
we're doing our hobbies,
we're minding our own business.
Yep.
And then what happens is the culture gets away from us.
And they're minding your business now too.
And they're minding your business. And I know you want peace. I know that. You don't want conflict. I know you want peace. But I hate to be the person to tell you that now is not the time for peace. We are at war, and so everyone's going to have to pick their front, their battlefront. Get in there, draw your line, and say, I'm not going any further than this. I don't care how far you push. And let me make one more comment before we go. Because you mentioned, parents get involved because you're going to give up your children, your children's future.
Yeah.
I always ask parents this. Would you take a bullet for your kid?
Yeah.
That's easy. That's the no-brainer.
Oh, man.
We all would take a bullet for our kid. Would you lose your reputation for your kid? Would you sacrifice your job for your kid? Would you sacrifice the invitation to all the parties or the neighborhood events for your kid? That's the hard part. The bullet's the no-brainer.
Oh my God, Kira, I think we need to get you up to Vermont, okay? I need you to talk to some of our people up there because that's been one of the things that is so frustrating is like they're coming for you, you know? So when I first moved back to Vermont in 2018, born and raised there, and I met Christians who were too afraid to admit that they were Christians and Republicans too afraid to admit they were Republicans. I mean, the Christians, I'm like, yo, it says in this book that this book we read together, it says you will be persecuted in my name.
Yeah.
And so I think that what do you think, speak to that as a Christian, like, does that help kind of fuel your fight for this stuff? Does that like give you the strength and the encouragement that you need? Like, what is it that gets you through all this?
I'm only in politics because I'm a Christian. That is why I'm in politics.
I love it.
So that it is, I feel like for the same way we all have our space to be in, and I'm very vocal. I'm a communicator. I love talking to people, and I feel I have a unique perspective for my own faith journey. I feel like it's something, and so this is where I work. This is where I feel like I'm
your mission field.
So that's what got me into it, because I can't stand by and let things fall apart around us when I love this country so much, and I know that we still have so much good to do.
Nothing.
So this is what I have to do. This is what I do for my family, and this is what I feel my calling is.
I love it. I love this is your mission field. I feel I'm there with you. I'm totally. That's when it's hard and it sucks. All I have to do is go, I'm here for my father.
Yeah.
I am here representing my father and my family, and that is my job.
Yeah.
And that's what I got to do.
And I talk about that in the book. The book is really faith-based, actually.
Yeah.
And I end with the story of my own father-in-law, who is a pastor, has been a pastor for 50 years, and who is a survivor of abortion. His mom in the 40s tried to abort him. She had 7 children, a poor rural black woman, and she didn't have, much of a future for him, and the abortion failed, and he survived. And because he survived, he went on to have 4 kids. They went on to have 13 kids between them. They went on to have 18 kids. Like, it was a little stone, like a pebble in the middle of the pond that has all these historical ripples. Like, we don't even know what that one life, what that's going to bring into the future. So you be that ripple. You might not even see the results, but know that you are the pebble in the middle of that pond, and those ripples will go out to the shore.
I love it. I had a couple more questions, but I feel like we just need to end it right there.
Sure.
I might edit this around. Hold on. One more quick question. One more quick question.
Absolutely.
Why do you think why is comedy so important to you in your mission to help save the country?
Comedians are the last truth tellers. I mean, we know that, right?
Yeah.
There's something about, I love Dave Chappelle. I've always been a Chappelle fan, even from back in Chappelle show days. There's something about a guy who can shine the mirror, like turn the mirror on us and show us how ugly we are, and then dare us to laugh at it. I love it. And I think comedy there is a element of being, I hate to sound too cheesy, but like a philosophers in a way.
It's true.
You listen to Dave Chappelle, he's a storyteller. That guy's a master storyteller. But laughter also is so important, because it takes the air out of a lot of things. And laughter is a uniting quality among humans. You might not speak the same language, but when you're laughing, you're speaking the same language.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love that. Dave Chappelle insults everybody. So, okay, he's an equal opportunity offender. Yeah. And I think that's what, I love what you said. He makes us even laugh at ourselves.
Yes.
There's times I want to be offended, and I'm like, oh man, that is so true. Our team sucks.
Yes.
This is not good.
But it's funny though.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Well, Kira, thank you so much for taking some time with us today. Share with our viewers where they can find you on the socials, websites. Where can they get your book? What's the best way to reach out?
Erica, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for the interview. You can find my book on Amazon. It's called Drawing Lines: Why conservatives must begin to battle fiercely in the arena of ideas. You can pre-order it. It launches January 25th. You can find me on Twitter at Real Kira Davis. I'm very active there. And go find my podcast, Just Listen to Yourself with Kira Davis, where I break down ideas, we engage in critical thinking, and we draw talking points all the way out to their logical conclusion. You don't just stop where it feels good. We draw it all the way to their logical conclusion.
That's what we got to do. Logical conclusions and thinking about things. Thank you so much, Kira. I appreciate it.